Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this regular meeting of Pittsburgh City Council for today, Tuesday, May the 28th, 2019. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess. Here. Mr. Coghill.
Here.
Ms. Gross. Mrs. Harris. Mr. Lavelle. Here. Mr. O'Connor. Here. Mrs. Cal-Smith. Ms. Strasburger. Mr. Cross, present.
Here. 5
members present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And then I ask if you would please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Our next order of business, our proclamations. We begin with Councilman O'Connor.
Okay, I see a number of volunteers for the Great Race. Could you all please come up? John, you helped the Great Race. Come on up. So as everybody knows, the Great Race, Director Radley, please come up. Has been a part of the city for a number of years. And I'm actually just talking about the Great Race because the individual standing next to me is still kind of confused as to why he's here.
Give us the weather, right?
So now we're going to tell you why you're here. It's not about the Great Race, but today is going to be, once I get through this, John Burnett Day in the city of Pittsburgh. Wow. You have done an incredible job in the city of Pittsburgh for a number of years. You were definitely a better weatherman than Larry Richard. So we can tell that you have done some great things for all of us. And when you walked in, I thought you knew why you were here, and your kids did a very good job of hiding it. So on behalf of the city of Pittsburgh and council, I'm very privileged that I get to read this proclamation. Whereas, born in Knoxville, Tennessee, and graduated from the University of Tennessee with a bachelor's degree in theater arts, John Burnett Jr. established a career in broadcast news in Tennessee and in Louisville, Kentucky before coming to Pittsburgh. And whereas arriving in Pittsburgh in 1982 to serve as co-host of Evening Magazine, do you remember that?
No, yeah, I do remember that very well, actually.
John Burnett launched a 36-year career with KDKA that included working as a co-host of Pittsburgh Today and Pittsburgh Today Live. And whereas, as one of the most recognizable and respected television and media figures in Pittsburgh, John Burnett's career has been one of achievement and accomplishment in broadcast journalism. He has been honored with an Emmy Award for individual achievement in weathercasting and a Golden Quill Award. He and his wife, Debbie, have supported numerous events across the city of Pittsburgh and charities, one being the Richard Caligiuri City of Pittsburgh Great Race, where he has been a runner, recruiter, finish line announcer, event MC, and voice of the official race video. And whereas after 40 plus years of broadcasting, John will retire on June 1st to enjoy time with his beloved family, his wife Debbie, his daughter Samantha, son Eric, and 3 grandchildren. And now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby recognize and commend John for a spectacular career in broadcast journalism and for the contributions he has made to the tri-state region, and congratulates him on his retirement. And be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Saturday, June 1st, 2019 to be John Burnett Day in the city of Pittsburgh.
Here, may I have a motion and a second, please? Second. All in favor? Aye. Motion passes.
I thank you all for being here, and thank you for this. I never expected it. I'm not worth it, and you're more than kind to give it to me. When my kids said that we were going to the courthouse today, I said, "What? A courthouse? Am I in trouble?" I know that there's a holding cell here somewhere in the building, and I saw the officer walk in. Thank you for being here, and thanks for your service. Yes, sir. Appreciate it. And so I thought, well, yeah, they finally come to lock me up. That's what I figured was going on, but this is wonderful. This is more than I deserve and more than I could have ever asked for. So, and just let me say that Pittsburgh has been for me such a perfect home, and I'm a homebody. And when I left Knoxville, Tennessee in 1980 to move around and start my career, I thought I'll never find another place like this. Well, I was wrong, and I have, and it's here, and this is where our son was born. This is where my daughter Samantha, my beautiful daughter, was raised, and this is home. And it's everything that I ever could have dreamed of. And so, I mean, I don't feel like I'm the what's the award? It's the I can't believe I got my own day. That's ridiculous. It's just beyond belief. But it's so kind of you. I do appreciate it, and I'll be eternally grateful and honored. And I just want to thank everybody here, and I want to thank again Pittsburgh for accepting me and making me one of their own. I'm a Pittsburgher, and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Real quick, as it was mentioned in the proclamation, John has done numerous things for the Great Race, and I'm Brian Cates, I'm the race director of the Great Race. And throughout my entire 11 years with the race, John's been here. He's been a tremendous supporter, whether it's hosting me on Pittsburgh Today Live to talk about it, being there with us on race day, riding the shuttles, doing pretty much anything we ask him to do. He's been a tremendous supporter. So on behalf of the race and Pittsburgh Magazine, we wanted to present you with this retirement cover from the magazine, just kind of commemorating everything you've done with the race and in general.
Had a little hair.
I feel your pain.
All right, thank you again, John.
No, you don't. You're good. Thank you, Brian. Thanks, I appreciate that. That's awesome.
I just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations, Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Really awesome. Mary Beth Mueller, I want to say thank you so much. She is right over here. She put all of this into motion, and it's really an honor, not only for my dad, but for our whole family. We really feel blessed. As my dad mentioned, Pittsburgh is where I was born and raised, and just to have a father who is such a big part of this city is always been an honor for me. Being able to walk around and go to, on the street today, we had someone walk up to you and say, "Hey man, I know you," and they had a really cool moment together. They shared close to birthdays. They're 9 days apart, and it was a perfect example of how my dad has always found ways to connect to this city. And as you guys have recognized with this honor, it's so meaningful, but it's been really meaningful I think I speak for you as well, Samantha. It's been meaningful to us because it's taught us what it means to be just a good person and a kind person and a lover of people. And I feel like that's the city of Pittsburgh. This place is such a special place. My wife is from Philadelphia, and she did not want to go back to there when we got married because she loves Pittsburgh. And my dad loves Pittsburgh. And really the last thing I want to say is that obviously he's done a lot. He's committed a lot to the city. He's committed a lot to his career. But he still found time, I don't know how, to just be the best father possible and to always be there for sports, for recitals, for dance recitals, for musicals, for things like that. And it's just, I don't know how you mastered time, but you've done it. And
I didn't have anything better to do.
yeah, right. But I couldn't think of a better father. So, thank you, Dad.
That's great. Okay. Yep. Can we have all members, please?
Not today's world. No. They're nicely set. Too much. I mean, I really just I can't thank you all enough. Thank you. Nice job. Nice job. Congratulations. You gonna travel? Take it easy. We're gonna travel some good summer. Good. So you're not gonna do anything with TV? I'm done. Yeah. Especially. Thanks. Nice to meet you as well.
Okay. Okay, we good. Madam Clerk, we have one proclamation to be read into the record. It is presented by Councilman Burgess.
Reverend Burgess presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby commend Dr. Rippey for being installed as the new pastor of Good Hope Baptist, and be it further resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Sunday, May 26, 2019, to be Melvin G. Rippey Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion and a second, please? Second. May I have a second, please? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion passes. That concludes the proclamation portion of the council meeting. Takes us into public comment. Anyone wishing to speak before City Council this morning will have 3 minutes in which to do so. I would like to remind everyone here that our rules of council are clear when they state that comment is limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be or could be before this council at another time. We do not permit profanity. We will maintain order at all time. We ask that you would please begin by giving your name and the neighborhood in which you reside for our public record. The green light will indicate the start of your 3 minutes. When the yellow light comes on, you'll have 1 minute to summarize your thoughts. When the red light comes on, your time will have expired. Good morning, Dr. Miller.
Dr. Ronald N. Miller, Pittsburgh City, downtown, Washington, D.C. Eternal blue, is this city affected by that? I'm a Global Intelligence Society candidate for President of the United States, 2020, globalintelligencesociety.org, University of Oxford, England, United Kingdom, St. Anthony's College, Institute of Japanese Studies, where I was a researcher and lecturer, University of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, USA, lecturer in the Asian Studies program, and of course, Japan and the USA. A general council concern is the relationship between the United States and Japan, and between Pittsburgh and a Japanese sister city. For me, my concern is more for brother city of Hiroshima. Hiroshima, home of the group Perfume, world music anti-nuke female trio, now Tokyo Girls Who Hate Black Rain. Hiroshima, kate of U.S. nuke murder of civilian population the size of the current city of Pittsburgh. A specific concern, Croissant and Daijin, Japan's new Tenno, Naruhito, the emperor, descended from a human, a father, and a divine mother, Amaterasu, the sun goddess, according to the Shinto sacred text Nihon Shoki. That made you excited? No? Mr. Christian Profanity Prolific, Bible Boy Trump, knew he was encountering someone like the post-Nicaea Jesus Christ, a divine human being, in Tenno Naruhito? I don't think so. Naruhito entered the Shinto divine way, holiest of holies at Ise, to fuse with Amaterasu, to be empowered to head the kami in networked kaka, iya, infused with Mae. The wartime Hirohito emperor excites you? No? Orders descending from a divine human being, Hirohito, induced great obedience, which is one of the reasons why the constitution imposed by the United States after World War II denied the emperor divinity. This denial is something that Abe-san refuses to object to, indirectly affirming Naruhito's divinity by not affirming his denial and indirectly involving Mr. Trump in that affirmation. When Abe-san encountered Tenno Naruhito, was his bow close to 90 degrees? No, it was not. When Abe encountered Mr. Trump, was his bow greater than 10 degrees? No. I agree with Prime Minister Abe. No honor to one who has no honor.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Miller. Okay, good morning, Ms. Brown.
Every time. My name is Yvonne F. Brown, and I try, when I come down here, I try to be a little calm. My husband said for me to be a little bit calmer. But you know something? It's hard to do when I face Jens. And yes, I'm talking about the ones like you, Miss Gross. They put you back in. You don't never come on time. Even put you ahead of us. And then when I came and sat here all day, I couldn't get to speak. I am upset because Kraus is like a different person. At first, he treated me with respect. Now he disrespect my grandchildren. That's what you're going to pay for. Okay, I just want to start. I didn't mean to do that, but it's really bothered me that I come down here to disrespect and I get down here. But this is for Mr. Jenkins, for district attorney. Thank you. He got 40% of the for the district attorney. I heard the white man say, Sapala, he did a whooping. No, he didn't. Because this is the first time that this black man tried. He got 40%. Just think, if he had did, like I said, and Mr. Jenkins, if you're listening in your family, I told you to come down here and just show your face. Do you know, I went around the neighborhood. I spoke for you. They still wanted to see who you were. You need to come down. Anybody's running for office, I don't care if it's for the president, should come to city council. They should. I mean, you play it down. Ooh, I'm really kind of upset today, but I want to tell you something, and this is what I wanted to say. This is for Mr. Kraus and for the police and the administration. A woman was made from the rib of a man. She was not created from his head to top him, nor from his feet to be stepped upon. She was made from his side to be equal to him, from beneath his arm to be protected by him, near his heart to be loved by him. And I'm saying to be respected and considered. You consider what you say when you say something to me, and I have my grandbabies down here. Do you understand? My grandbaby's been watching this for years, the 17-year-old one, even the 4 or 5 years old. They watch this, and they'll listen as long as someone's standing here. But as soon as they turn around to Jens, they turn it off. Because I think they know that you don't really care. You're caring about this job. And citizens, they make a $60,000 or $65,000 and won't come to the meetings? Do you know, I still remember the meeting about the buses. And you, Lavelle, didn't even come. You got Kraus. Oh, he loves it. He can't speak for you, and I told you that. 2 white lawyers from the Penguins. I said to them, do you understand why I'm fighting? They said, yes, Mr. Brown, we understand. And I said, he didn't even come. They won't speak against you. But they said, because you're not worth the salt that's in your body, and I mean that.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. May we have our next speaker, please? Do we have anyone else wishing to speak at public comment today? Okay. Seeing no further speakers, we'll move on to presentation of papers, and we will begin with Councilman Burgess, our Chair of Finance and Law. Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Conco, our Chair of Urban
No new
Recreation.
papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Gross, our Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Harris, our Chair of Human Resources.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Lavelle, our Chair of Public Safety Services. Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman Lavelle presents Bill Number 1723, Resolution authorizing the mayor and Director of Public Safety to enter on behalf of the city into a professional services agreement with Freedom Indeed LLC and the Reverend Cornell Jones for professional services as a group violence intervention coordinator at a total cost not to exceed $327,465.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilman O'Connor, our Chair of Intergovernmental Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill Number 1722, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for the Habitat for Humanity Bennett Street project located at 6932, 36, 6942, and 6946 Bennett Street. Bill Number 1735, Resolution requesting the approval of an intermunicipal transfer of a liquor license from Gregory's Restaurant, Inc. to the applicant Woods House LLC for the premises located at 4604 Monongahela Street, restaurant known as Woods House.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Kell Smith, our Chair of Public Works Services.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
I need all these.
17, 20, 32, 36.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill Number 1724, Resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program to provide funding for the renovation of multi-modular trails located within Southside Park. The grant proposal includes an ask for $250,000 with a local match of $37,500 to be funded from the 2020 City of Pittsburgh capital budget. In the event the grant is awarded, this resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $287,500 for this stated purpose. Bill Number 1725, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works and/or the director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development, Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program to provide funding for the planning of the renovation of the pedestrian tunnel located in Highland Park. The grant proposal includes an ask of $93,500 with a local match of $16,500 to be funded from the 2020 City of Pittsburgh capital budget. In the event the grant is awarded, this resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $110,000 for this stated purpose. Bill Number 1726, Resolution authorizing the mayor and director of the Department of Public Works to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development's Greenways, Trails, and Recreation Program to provide funding for the renovation of the Riverview Park entrance at Meridale Avenue. The grant proposal includes an ask of $250,000 with a local match of $37,500 to be funded from the 2020 City of Pittsburgh capital budget. In the event the grant is awarded, this resolution provides for an agreement and expenditures not to exceed $287,500 for this stated purpose. Bill Number 1727, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with the City of Pittsburgh and Peshek plus MTR for the professional landscape architectural services for Southside Park Phase 1 design at a cost not to exceed $338,096. Bill number 1728, resolution amending and supplementing resolution number 850, providing for design, repairs, maintenance, improvement, emergencies, and/or the purchase of materials, equipment, and supplies in connection with the Wenzel Avenue, Carnahan Road intersection project to account for a bid amount higher than originally anticipated, but not to exceed $2,886,871.33. Bill number 1729, resolution declaring that certain city property as further provided herein in Highland Park shall be dedicated to a trail easement and that certain other property be dedicated to a temporary construction easement in order to facilitate development of the Washington Boulevard Trail. Bill number 1730, ordinance amending and supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances at Title VII, Business License in Chapter 719 by amending the existing language of Sections 719.02, 04, 09, and 10, and adding Section 719.04B to better align peddlers licensing in Allegheny County Health Department food regulations, to add to the City of Pittsburgh Department of Mobility and Infrastructure to the Street and Sidewalk Vending Site Designation Committee, to add to the City of Pittsburgh Department of Permits, Licenses, and Inspection as a voting member of the Street and Sidewalk Vending Site Designation Committee. Bill number 1731, ordinance amending the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances at Title VII, Business License in Chapter 719, Vendors and Peddlers by amending the existing language of Section 719.10 to add approved vending sites to the list of sites approved by council, to delete one vending site from the list of sites approved by council, and to better specify the site locations in the list of sites approved by council. Bill number 1732, resolution providing for a resolution to extend City Controller Contract 5116 with Allied Communication by extending the term of agreement through December 31st, 2019, and an additional cost not to exceed $50,000 for fleet GPS tracking services. Bill number 1736, resolution amending and supplementing resolution number 370, providing for construction of the South Side Neighborhood Streets Project to account for a bid amount higher than originally anticipated and not to exceed $892,017.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Councilwoman Kill-Smith, I believe you have a motion to waive the rules
Yes.
on Bills 1728, 1732, and 1736.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to make a motion to waive the rules of council for bills as mentioned 1728, 1732, and 1736. And I apologize to council for not saying anything sooner. I just found out when I got here.
Thank you. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Do we have discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, aye. Opposed, abstentions. Thank you very much, Councilwoman. 1728, 1732, 1736 will appear on tomorrow's standing committee agenda. Next, we have Councilwoman Strasburger, our Chair of Innovation, Performance, and Asset Management. May I have Councilwoman Kill-Smith for Councilwoman
Thank you,
Strasburger?
Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Strasburger presents Bill number 1733, resolution requesting authorization for the mayor and the Department of Permits, License, and Inspections to enter into an agreement with Avenue Insights and Analytical to digitize microfiche and aperture cards holding historic permitting data and add them to the department's digital library. The agreement is chargeable and payable from the following account in an amount not to exceed $185,600. Bill number 1734, resolution amending resolution number 840, amending resolution number 358, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Permits, License, and Inspection to enter into an agreement to purchase a Seller Civic platform and a Seller Citizen Access subscription so as to extend the contract an additional year until June 30th, 2020, and an increase the not-to-exceed cost from $1,144,019.08 to $1,269,962.16.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The chair has a number of appointments to both the Human Relations Commission as well as the Equal Opportunity Review Commission. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you.
Council President Kraus presents Bill number 1712, resolution appointing Tracy Baton to serve as a member of the Commission on Human Relations for a term to expire May 31st, 2023. Bill number 1713, resolution appointing Zachary Block to serve as a member of the Commission on Human Relations for a term to expire March 31st, 2021. Bill number 1714, resolution appointing Jennifer Pursuti to serve as a member of the Commission on Human Relations for a term to expire March 31st, 2021. Bill number 1715, resolution appointing Sonia Toller to serve as a member of the Commission on Human Relations for a term to expire May 31st, 2023. Bill number 1716, resolution appointing Earl Buford as a member of the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission with a term to expire May 31st, 2022. Bill number 1717, resolution appointing Jenna Kramer as a member of the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission with a term to expire April 30th, 2022. Bill number 1718, resolution reappointing Dr. Karen Hall as a member of the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission with a term to expire February 28, 2022. Bill number 1719, resolution appointing Monica Ruiz as a member of the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission with a term to expire April 30th, 2022. Bill number 1720, resolution appointing Sarah Segal as a member of the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission with a term to expire April 30th, 2022. Bill number 1721, resolution reappointing Andrea L. Vasquez as a member of the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission with a term to expire October 30th, 2021.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. What is the pleasure of the body? Councilwoman Harris.
Yes, motion to interview. Except for 18 and 21.
So there's a motion on the table to interview the appointees, excluding 18 and 1721 being that both of those are reappointments to the Pittsburgh Equal Opportunity Review Commission. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Do we have discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Okay, motion passes to interview. Next, under unfinished business, we do have some appointees to the Clean Pittsburgh Commission, and we did hold interviews this past Wednesday morning.
Bill number 1643, resolution appointing Lori Beth Jones as a commissioner of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission of the City for a term to expire April 30th, 2023. Bill number 1646, resolution appointing Amaye Aquale as a commissioner of the Clean Pittsburgh Commission of the City for a term to expire April 30th, 2023.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Second. Do we have discussion? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions. The appointees are finished. Thank you very much. That takes us into reports of committee for final action. Our first committee of the morning is our Committee on Finance and Law, and our chair is Councilman Burgess. Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
He's going to make the motion.
Councilman Reverend Burgess presents Bill number 1707, report of the Committee on Finance and Law for May 22nd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1338, ordinance amending, supplementing, and correcting the Pittsburgh Code at Title II, Fiscal Article 1, Administrative Chapter 219, so as to add contract and bid information requirements to fiscal impact statements and to further correct numbering and formatting. Bill number 1662, resolution further amending resolution number 73, by transferring $1,600 from Neighborhood Learning Alliance Public Safety Cameras to D2 Deck Hockey. Total of all projects is not to exceed $14,964.53. Bill number 1663, resolution further amending and supplementing resolution number 855 by transferring $1,600 from Neighborhood Learning Alliance Public Safety Cameras to D2 Deck Hockey in Council District 2 Neighborhood Needs Program. Bill number 1669, resolution establishing the City of Pittsburgh Equity and Inclusion Implementation Team. Bill number 1670, ordinance supplementing the Pittsburgh Code of Ordinances, Title I, Administrative Article 3, Organizations, Chapter 111, by adding a new subsection, Chapter 11103, Equity Standards and Requirements for all departments and units of city government. Bill number 1671, resolution declaring the City of Pittsburgh as an all-in city.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title under the bills. Under our Finance and Law Committee, further discussion begins with Councilman Burgess.
Yes, after meeting with and chatting a little bit with the sponsor of Bill 1338, the bill needs a little bit more work. I am making a motion that Bill 1338 be recommitted at this morning's meeting and to appear on Wednesday's Standing Committee meeting agenda.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you. Second.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you,
Councilwoman, thank you. Further discussion on the motion to recommit 1338? Seeing none, all in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed, abstentions. 1338 is recommitted and will appear on tomorrow's Standing Committee agenda. Thank you very much. The remainder of the bills now are up for final action. All in favor of the passage of the remaining bills will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills, having received then the legally required number of votes, have finally passed. Our next committee is our Committee on Public Works Services. Our chair is Councilwoman Teresa Kill Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Kell Smith presents Bill number 1708, report of the Committee on Public Works for May 22nd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1655, resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a donation agreement with the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy to accept a donation for materials to repair and improve the 9-mile run trail in Frick Park, and further authorizing the Director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with the Pittsburgh Parks Conservancy accepting the donation for this purpose. Bill number 1656, resolution authorizing the mayor and the Director of the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with the City of Pittsburgh and Pashik Plus MTR for the professional landscape architectural services for Arsenal Park Phase 1 design at a cost not to exceed $394,174. Bill number 1661, resolution authorizing the mayor and the Director of the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure on behalf of the city to enter into an agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation to receive certain grant monies for the Safe Routes to School project through the Transportation Set-Aside Program, and further authorizing an agreement to expend these grant monies toward completion of the Safe Routes to School project.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of the bills under our Public Works Services Committee. Do we have further discussion on any of the bills? Okay, seeing none, the bills are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when the names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross. Aye. Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle.
Aye.
Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills, having received the legally required number of votes, have finally passed. Our next committee is our Committee on Human Resources. Our chair is Councilwoman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Kraus.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Harris presents Bill number 1709, report of the Committee on Human Resources for May 22nd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill number 1657, Resolution providing for the filing of applications by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Human Services for grants in connection with the Joint Job Initiative Program Employment Advancement and Retention Network, and providing for the authorization to enter into an agreement with various agencies and to pay for expenditures for costs to support, implement, and administer the program. Cost not to exceed $4,585,786.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of this bill under our Human Resources Committee. Is there further discussion on the bill? Then seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bill, having received then the legally required number of votes, has finally passed. Our next committee is our Committee on Land Use and Economic Development. Our chair is Councilwoman Deborah Gross.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Gross presents Bill Number 1710, Report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for May 22nd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill Number 1599, Resolution providing for the designation as a historic structure under Title 11 of the Code of Ordinances that certain structure known as the South Side Presbyterian Church located at 1926 Sarah Street in the South Side neighborhood, 17th Ward.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You've heard the reading and the title of this bill under our Committee on Land Use and Economic Development. Is there further discussion on the bill? Okay. Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action, and all in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle. Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Cal Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
Ayes 8, no 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bill, having received the legally required number of votes, has finally passed. Our final committee of the morning is our Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. Our chair is Councilman O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman.
Councilman O'Connor presents Bill Number 1711, Report of the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs for May 22nd, 2019, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill Number 1621, Resolution authorizing the Mayor, the Office of Management and Budget, and the Department of Public Works to enter into a professional services agreement with Oxford Development Company to serve as property manager for 412 Boulevard of the Allies. Bill Number 1658, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh's official sewer facilities plan for Deferler Investment LLC for 700 Armadale Street in the 25th Ward. Bill Number 1659, Resolution adopting plan revision to the City of Pittsburgh official sewer facilities plan for connection at Southside 2984 Sydney Street in the 16th Ward.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. For the reading and the title of these bills under Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, further discussion begins with Councilman O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr. President. While a lot of us disagree on the 412 building, spending $40 million to buy it and then another 18 that we're going to spend to renovate it, not worth it. But now that we do own it, I think it would be irresponsible of us to just let it deteriorate like we did at the URA building or Ross Street, 200 Ross Street. So I'm reluctantly going to vote for this, but again, I understand that Oxford is I know them very well, a lot of us do. I think they'll be good property managers to us. Hopefully they can rent some space back and get us some revenue back into the city, because I think we spent way too much money on building a building and rehabbing it, but I will be voting yes today. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Councilman. Councilwoman Gross, followed by Councilwoman Harris.
Thank you. I echo Councilman O'Connor's comments and some additional comments as well. We questioned at standing committee kind of where the RFP had come from, because we were being asked to authorize this contract, and we were told that the RFP had been issued out of the Housing Authority. And so we followed up with the administration, and as I mentioned last Wednesday, the URA did come, and their council members, their legal counsel, and the Housing Authority and their legal counsel, and we had a pretty informative briefing. When we were given the old co-op agreement that oversaw the old management contract, and we were given the RFP for this new management contract. And I keep looking at my email. We all have trouble with our getting documents by email at times, and I was told I would get the kind of contracts that had been submitted, the proposals for the contracts, excuse me, and I don't see those. And just so the public knows that we've been following up on kind of like how this building will be administrated, right? Not that we are interfering in the administration of the building, because we're not the administration, but I think it's right that as a public asset, we kind of have this decision on the record. I was told also in the last week that the three-party new co-op agreement is not complete. And so I will be following up on that issue as well. If this new management contract and new building is being governed by a three-party agreement, it's a bit concerning that that three-party agreement is not finalized. And so I think it's right to have these things in the public record. One of the things that we were briefed on that is, I think, good for the public to know is that the Housing Authority contracting standards are very high in the values that we're talking about now at council in terms of equity and inclusion, and also in terms of labor agreements. So that was comforting to find out, but we wouldn't have known that had we not asked the questions. So I will also be voting yes today, and I just want to say thank you to the administration for providing so much information.
Yeah, thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Harris.
As I said before, there was money put into 200 Ross Street. I think it's been 8 floors, boiler, pointing on the outside, and now it's going to just sit there. So anything that has to do with 200 Ross Street has nothing to do with who would be managing Oxford. There's great people there, and I would have trust in them, but I'm voting no on anything that has to do with this new building that I believe, and the other thing was the big flood down in the basement, which is like a drip of water maybe every half hour, if that, dripping off of a 1-inch pipe. So I'll be voting no.
Thanks, Councilwoman. Do we have further discussion then on any of the bills under our Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs? Councilman.
I just wanted to, one last comment on 420. Of all the things that come in front of us and monies that we spend, this was an easy decision for me because, first of all, we needed the space. But secondly, it's something tangible. It's, something that, this is not data that we're buying or new computer systems or things like that kind of disappear in 3 years and need new ones. This, I think, will have a long-lasting effect and will be in our, and I'll promise my other colleagues that on the next building, I want to make sure we can maintain it ourselves, okay? But no, I think this decision was, and as far as the old building goes, 200 Ross Street, let's sell it, do something with it, but certainly we don't want it to sit there.
Thanks, Councilman. Councilwoman Harris.
Yes, I just wanted to add the 200 Ross Street has 13 floors. The new building has 9 floors, and half of one of those floors are for trucks and a center to, what do I want to say? Exercise. They have an exercise center there, so half a floor is an exercise center and for trucks. So I don't see it the way it's laid out as larger. I see it as smaller from the 13 floors that are over at to honor Ross Deary.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The bills under Intergovernmental Affairs Committee are now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bills will vote aye when their names are called. Those opposed will vote no. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Reverend Burgess.
Aye.
Mr. Coghill.
Aye.
Ms. Gross.
Aye.
Mrs. Harris.
Aye on all bills except for 1330. Whoa, wrong one, sorry. Moved my pages. It's here.
1621?
Okay, 1621, I believe. Yes, 1621.
Mr.
I'll
Lavelle.
vote no.
Okay. Mr. O'Connor. Mrs. Kell-Smith.
Aye.
Mr. Kraus, President.
Aye.
On Bill 1621, ayes 7, noes 1. All other bills, ayes 8, noes 0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The bills then, having received the legally required number of votes, have finally passed. That takes us into motions and resolutions. I do have a number of meeting announcements. We did have an executive session scheduled for this afternoon. It has been canceled. A new date is yet to be determined, but we will, of course, inform you as soon as that has been scheduled. Council will meet tomorrow, Wednesday, May 29th at 9:30 a.m. for pre-agenda interviews for the Pittsburgh Clean Pittsburgh Commission here in Council Chamber. The Standing Committee meeting will follow immediately. I've asked Councilman O'Connor if he would chair those pre-interviews. I'm unable to attend the meeting tomorrow, and I asked the councilman, and he will be taking those pre-interviews for me. Also, at the request of the Office of Management and Budget, the Mayor's Office of Management and Budget invites all residents to Potholes and Pierogies, a dinner and discussion of the 2020 capital budget. These public meetings provide citizens the chance to learn about the budgeting process, to talk with residents about priority projects, to pose questions to a panel of representatives from city departments, and to provide valuable feedback for the 2020 capital budget. The first meeting will be held on Thursday, June the 13th at the Children's Museum on the north side. The second meeting will be held on the evening of Tuesday, June the 18th at the Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers on the south side. Child care and interpretive services are available for those who register by June the 9th. And for more information and to register, you can go to pittsburghpa.gov/OMB/CIP. Again, that is pittsburghpa.gov/OMB/CIP. If there's nothing further from members, then may I have a motion to excuse our absent member, approve our minutes, and adjourn our meeting?
So moved.
Second. Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. We are.